Welcome everyone, it's Vapish Drakomar, and it's time for another episode of Raid Shadow Legends. In this episode, we're going to do some Silver Keys in the Doom Tower shenanigans. We're going to start with gathering some feathers from one of our favorite birds, the Celestial Griffin. Yes. This account is the highest it's ever been on that regard. We're going to be doing some Doom Tower review. Especially since I cannot, for the life of me, get past a horde of Seafies and 2 Rotos.
Yes or no?
My back is kind of out, so no.
Well, one thing about this one is it looks like it would be from a time period where they only used wood. There's
Right.
no fake shit in here. And if it's smoke free, it might be good.
Right.
So, I mean, like, I'm looking for, you have to go back far to the times when, like, you can look at how hard it was to make that, right?
Right.
So, it has a little bit of a blemish on one side, like, I don't know, a little bit of chipping, something. Of the veneer, fancy veneer they put on. We're looking at 1930 here.
That going.
So, I thought that was good.
See, the thing about it stripping your buffs off and hitting you is that on the second version, it hits a lot harder. With that. And it also transfers the debuff regardless of what type that debuff is. So that makes it extra frustrating to deal with. It's the first key. Let's make this one the second key. This is specifically designed so that but yeah, I'm going to be completing this advanced quest just for more energy fuel because I've got to spend a lot of it on Dragon's Lair, unfortunately, today. And I already spent a lot of it before trying to make my first 6-star allure for turn meter control for Doom Tower and other purposes. Because that's what it's useful for. And I probably need a specific turn meter terror to deal with Seafy. Because otherwise, we're never going to get the Seafies under control. And that's fact. We'll never get the Seafies under control. Get a provoke? Of course not. Of course not. Why does it suddenly put the hex on her? I don't get it. She puts the cleanse, but then it automatically places a hex. Is that a priority target? Clearly not, because I went for him. But that's because I got provoked. It somehow knows my favorite teams. Because, again, I want to do some of these advanced quests occasionally because they give me useful stuff, you know? That's why. Because I want, like, energy fuel, tag tokens. I want that stuff, you know? Why does he always choose Kale? I wonder. Yeah, I'll choose you, Warwick. You vermin. I don't know why you chose him, but sure. Sir, I'll choose you back. Now, normally, I would go the Madame Ceres route, but I prefer to have a lot of cleansers. And possibly a reviver. Because that can happen. And it's never pleasant when that happens. Trying to keep the amount of poisons reduced. Not again. Okay, at least we're getting the burn on it. Wow. Okay, we actually failed this. Okay, that's fun. That's really fun. I somehow failed it with 2 cleansers. Should give you an idea on how annoying that boss is. You screw up even once, even with 3 cleansers, you could find yourself in the stickiest situation imaginable. Oh, I hate Nether Spider. I hate Nether Spider. Nether Spider is the bane of my existence. Nether Spider is the bane of my existence. Even now, it still is. Even on this account, it still is. The bane of my existence. The bane of my existence. Idle also bombs the bane of my existence. And the only way that it's not the bane of your existence probably is if you have a Sifi. But by the time you have a Sifi, Doom Tower really doesn't mean much to you anymore because you can beat the whole thing practically for free. And it sucks to admit that, but that's exactly the problem. Aha, I transferred the poison. I transferred the poison to the spider. To the spider. to that nasty spider. Screw the spider. Screw the spider. The spider is a vermin. I hate the spider so much. Ugh. How much freaking poison is that? Just get it off me. Yeah, get all your poison sensitivity and poison and you name it off of me. I don't want to lose to this boss again from any mistakes. As I already just did, and it was embarrassing as sin. Because I somehow screw up with 3 cleansers. I have to cleanse that. Because if I don't cleanse that, that poison will detonate and we will die. That's the truth of it. We will die. I don't want to mention that, but this version is so bad. On the other account, the first time I beat this boss, it was because of Manaya. I don't like to mention that because then everyone's like, "Oh my god, Manaya is so trash." There's no way. There is no way that you could have done that. Now I'm like, I don't understand it either. But Manaya actually, the one time she actually did something that was really noteworthy was during that fight with this spider. This specific version. The specific version of this spider. Okay. So then after that, we're going to do Eternal Dragon. And then we're going to do... Well, I'm trying to show the Doom Tower bosses that I've already done. The ones I've managed to do versus the one that I can't get to. That's probably a dupe. That's like involves 3 Siphi, 2 Rhodos. Which I don't know how to bite. Siphi the Busted. Fighting Siphi the Busted is ridiculously hard, even with a Madame Ceres and a Mortu Macabre who can land their buffs, because eventually, because Siphi is so phenomenally durable, and the fact that Siphi can cleanse almost everything, it makes it almost impossible to kill that many Siphis. Like 1 Siphi alone is enough of a nightmare to last you for a while. That in there. I need to deal with the Eternal Dragon. So it likes to lock you out. That's neat. That's neat of it. That should kill it. But like I said, I think that this version is nothing compared to the one that comes after it. Very similar to what happens with the Celestial Griffin. Wait, does it repeat itself? It does. Okay. All right, yeah. This version is very nasty. Let's see. Let's try it. That's why I brought him for the waves. That's why I brought him for the waves. Now I remember. Now I remember. I remember when I first heard this stuff about the Doom Tower bosses, and I was like, you know, maybe I could just go in there and fight it. And then later on I realized I actually have to build up a whole squad in order to do this. And now, hundreds of days later, I'm finally able to do this, like 200 days total, something like that. 180 days, 200. It's a long investment. It really is. And oh yeah, one more thing. The whole thing is really scary. This boss is probably the scariest boss in all of Raid. Well, not all of Raid, but one of the scariest, actually. The second one. The first one's a bit of a joke and makes you think that, well, not really a joke, but it's easy compared to what happens when you actually have to fight this version. There are a couple that are slightly worse in some ways. Dark Fae is one of them. Because what happens is Dark Fae copies your team. So you have to create a team to nuke your own team. And then you're like on the edge of losing yourself. But you manage to comfortably live on the edge by making a fast, high damage team comp. That's the best way I can describe it. That's at least the easiest way. There's a harder way. You can just beat your own team. But it's hard because she does other things. It's better to have it so that your team is high damage, fast, and squishy. That's the best way you can do it. I'm going to save the cleanses for when it does its BS. Because I know it does BS. Like, I know it does. That's why I'm not bothering to trying to give myself some continuous heals. Because this thing starts to become really scary right about now. Like I said, really scary. Like, this is just the normal one. It's just, the problem is, it's the scarier version, as you can clearly see. It's the version that actually kills you. like the one that does its proper evilness. As you can see, it screams. There we go. There we go. My Lizardman Crypt's a disaster, so boom. Yep. And we're going to be using that soon when I'm going to farm the when I'm going to be farming Tag Arena. First I want to make a page of like, yeah, there we go. And then we're going to go use it and then farm. Because I'm going to want to do more Dragon's Lair. Because I need at least 10 Dragon's Lairs plus the energy fuel required from that. Because, see, I like to have more energy fuel from that because I don't want to dig into my gems. Because, unfortunately, I've dug into my gems a bit during that 6-star episode. To 6-star the... Because it takes a lot of energy fuel to make, and a lot of gems if you're digging into your gems for energy fuel. It takes a lot of energy fuel to make one 6-star. It really does. It's not a low undertaking, especially for free-to-play. It's really not. Like, they've made it easier for high spenders to make it, especially now with the addition of Feast. Because that addition to Feast and XP barrels basically makes it so that the spenders can get to 6-star easier than they ever have. As then all they need to do now is just buy a Feast and wabam, they can make a 6-star. But when you're trying to make it from free to play from scratch, it's hard. It's really hard. Because, like, it's like now the biggest difference will be getting to, like, champs to 6-star. Because even with the farming, like, basically, you have to plan usually in advance whether you get your that cleansing. The hail burn is the biggest thing though that helps Ninja with Dragon, because it gives him that like extra jolt of damage. You always want to reduce the hail burn's cooldown because that's the key to getting it to cycle around again. That's the key to making this run more efficient most of the time. especially if you can get better attack gear. And there we go. But where does that put us on the dungeon scale? Still not there yet. 2 more. 2 more and then we can do Spirit Keep, but I've got to do 2 more. Let's intersperse it actually, because we've got some tokens. Why not? Why the hell not? If I'm gonna see some weak stuff, let's get some weak stuff. Don't mind if I do. Give me, like, because it's gonna take a long time before I can get this Great Hall to good shape. Okay, this we're gonna need a special brew here. Gotcha. Gotcha. And now let's go back to Dragon's Lair. Because I want to try to keep the variety a little bit in, just a little bit. I mean, I guess I could do campaign, but I don't want to do campaign when there isn't a boost going on. That's the crux of that. I like to do campaign when the boosts is up, because that's when the best possible time to use campaign is when your boost is active. If your boost isn't active, you might as well do the other dungeons. That is the best time. So I'm thinking 2 more of these should do it. Ow. There we go. We got Kale alive over here, finally. And he resisted all of that? That was annoying. So yeah, we're going to be doing at least 2 more of the level 200. I mean, I would do 220, except I just don't think I can do it efficiently enough, number one. Number two, my team's probably going to get wiped. I don't want my team to get excessively wiped during the Dragon Tournament. Because, like, it's theoretically possible, but it's not consistent. I want some consistent victories for the tournament. That's the problem. Because this account can do a fair amount in the way of the Dragon Tournament. Come on, Rez. Do it. Whatever. Why won't it? It's bugged. Do it. I swear it's bugged. Okay, now will you do it? Ow. I was about to say. This is bad. I don't think... Never mind. Okay. I'll do that later. Did we do enough? I don't care about the grapes, damn it. Okay. Let's try again. One more time. This time, not screw up. And not have it bug out. God. That was embarrassing. It's when everything that can go wrong does. I probably should have revived Ninja instead, because believe it or not, Ninja's actually very powerful versus the dragon. Believe it or not, because his Hailburn skill actually does a whopping amount of damage to this boss. I think that was my mistake. This is, like, you see, the thing about Ninja is you can't judge a book by its, like, okay, you gotta kind of think of him like the one-winged angel. Ignore what his face looks like. Just ignore it, please. Please, I beg of you. He's still legendary, and he still has the one-winged angel thematic here. That's a hint on what he can do. He's kind of like he's like a Sephiroth, maybe not as strong, but almost. Like, he's up there. He's like a Magic Affinity Sephiroth, if you will. In a way. Like a semi-budget version. I say budget version because Sephiroth is incredibly nasty, and it's very difficult to put... Like, Sephiroth is even stronger than Ninja. Sephiroth is like... Who could I compare him to? Trying to think who I could compare him to. There's very few champions. It would be a legendary, obviously. Some kind of legendary cold nuker of death. Like Cold Heart or Septimus, but scarier. Scary. All right, that's good. That is good. Get a cleanse up. I swear, you screw up one time on this fight and you're dead. Like, that's the thing. That's what you don't see when I'm doing this fight. It's actually a hard fight. But I have to get at least 10 dungeon battles in, so I might as well get 10 of this in to make the most use of that hard to earn energy fuel. Might as well. And there you have it. Ooh, 6-star sleep gear. Not bad. Not bad. Does that give me the 2-star? Let's go. Let's go.